Eddie Hearns. Rematch for Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Rumored to be in New York City, November 16th or early December. I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so. So let's talk about that in this video. Welcome back to Fanon International Boxing. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, share the videos. Definitely check out our live streams that we do Monday through Friday. Check out the Patreon. Now let's get into this video. All right, so reports are coming out. I saw a video from Blue Blood Sports TV. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. Mentioned this yesterday. I also saw in an article today in the Independent out of the UK that it is being rumored that, or reports are coming out that Sky Sports has already begun preparations for the contest between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz to be held at Madison Square Garden. Now, two things about this that I want to point out. As I said in the intro, number one, I told you so. And I'm wondering whether or not my UK AJ fan subscribers are getting tired of being wrong yet. That's point one. Point two, AJ's a moron for making this fight. Not AJ. Eddie Hearn is ridiculous for making this fight that quick in Madison Square Garden against the same guy. Mainly against the same guy. Madison Square Garden, I don't think it would matter if this fight was in, it could be in the Philippines, it could be in Australia, it could be anywhere. It could be in LA, it doesn't matter. Anthony Joshua is going to have a very difficult time beating Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua needs to take the advice of other people, not get into this rematch so quickly. Get your head right. Get your skill set right. Get some easy. Do a Tyson Fury. Fight guys that have no chance to beat you and build your name up. I'm quite sure that Eddie Hearn has got a couple of those guys over there in the UK that he could do that with. But that doesn't work for the plans of Eddie Hearn, does it? It doesn't work to have AJ rebuild his career. Eddie Hearn needs those belts back, and DAZN needs those belts back right now. Hell or high water, Anthony Joshua's future as a champion be damned. We're gonna throw him right back in there. We're throwing everything on the table, because if he loses against Andy Ruiz, that's a wrap. His credibility, the potential of him being an all-time great heavyweight and all the things that these guys are saying, that's a bunch of garbage. It's gone because he would have lost back-to-back to the same guy. Now, all these people that tell me, hey, it's not that big a deal that Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz. Other people got knocked out or knocked down 4 times. That he got knocked down 4 times and didn't come and then had the fight waved off, because people come back from that. People come back from losses. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. The O is one of the most overrated things in all of boxing, because all of the great fighters, with the exception of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Rocky Marciano, had them. Now, and both, in my opinion, Rocky Marciano and Floyd Mayweather Jr. would have both gotten them if they would have continued to fight too long, or if they would have fought the wrong guy. With Floyd Mayweather Jr., that's definitely the case, because he fights at 147 pounds. He could have moved up to 160 like a Ray Robinson did and lost. But this is not to diminish the accomplishments of the great Floyd Mayweather, because it is the great Floyd Mayweather or the great Rocky Marciano. If if AJ lost to Andy Ruiz, since he lost to Andy Ruiz, he does have the ability to come back. But what happens if he loses by knockout twice in a row? What if he gets, you know who he becomes? He becomes Jorge Linares. And we're just waiting around for the next TKO. You can build him back up to a certain extent, but then he's gonna wind up getting stopped again because his confidence will be completely shot. I would be very interested in, I asked Scrapbook Boxing, boxing historian, Scrapbook Boxing, or the boxing historian, Blood Boxing, or some of the other guys that are out there in the internet that let me know how many heavyweight champions got knocked out 2 times in a row by the same guy and came back. That did not happen to Lennox Lewis. In fact, when Lennox Lewis lost to Oliver McCall, he didn't fight Oliver McCall for another couple years. Aseem Rahman, at the very end of his career, he went right back in there with Aseem Rahman, but he only had 2 more fights left in his career, or maybe 3 more fights left in his career. I think after the Aseem Rahman thing, I do believe he fought like Mike Tyson, maybe somebody else. He fought Vitaly Klitschko and he was done. He had 3 more fights and he was done. He had already had a long career before he went right back in with Aseem Rahman. And Aseem Rahman was just a 1-punch knockout. Andy Ruiz beat up AJ, beat him up. So maybe he's hoping that when he puts him down, that, you know, since Anthony Joshua put Andy Ruiz down with a shot, it might have been in the 2nd round, I can't recall what round that was, that, you know, he just needs to do that one more time. Next time Andy Ruiz won't get up. No, don't bet on it. Andy Ruiz is a real one, okay? Andy Ruiz is a real one. And he ain't scared of you. He feels like you're soft. He's gonna come in there like you're soft. And since you're coming right back into the rematch, you don't even have enough time to throw the dude off. He knows he's got a fight coming up with you in November. That's just a few months away. He doesn't even have time to screw up and not train. You know what I mean? He doesn't even have time to screw up and not train. This is just, even if Anthony Joshua wins a fight, but he wins it in a war with Andy Ruiz. You gonna do a 3rd one? Anyway, I just think this is a bad matchup for Anthony Joshua. I think it's a bad move. But I do want to get back on this. And I know there are some people, Shango Garvey. I should do a Fanon response on this one, but I'm not going to upload the graphic. I'll just say it. Look, you guys want me to go off and cover a bunch of other things other than this heavyweight thing going on. Hey, man, I'm going to start doing videos again. We're moving on to the Manny Pacquiao fight with Keith Thurman. We're going to move on and talk about the fights with Guillermo Rigondeaux getting his shot at the WBC interim belt. We'll talk about all those type of things. We talk about them every day in the live stream. But it's just not in my personality not to tell you I told you so. You guys said that there was a rock solid rematch clause and it was up to Eddie Hearn whether or not this rematch was going to be in New York or whether it was going to go into the UK. And I told you, no, it is not. There's no such thing as complete control. No such thing as complete control. Because DAZN paid for the fight to begin with. DAZN wants people to watch his fight in the United States. So there was the DAZN pressure. Secondly, there's the Andy Ruiz pressure. He can just walk off and fight somebody else. Then you got the sanctioning body pressure, where the sanctioning bodies can be like, hey man, somebody's telling me we'd rather see Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder. Not saying that that's the case, but it's a possibility that something like that could happen. So, like I said, this fight was not locked in to be in the UK. It never made sense to me at all that it would be in the UK. He left the UK. But I wish AJ would go back to the UK, get some tune-up fights, then come back, because I want to see the young man do well. He is exciting for boxing. His fans aren't that good for boxing. I guess the UK boxing. Y'all get on my nerves. But I like Anthony Joshua. He seems like a nice young man. And more than anything else, I don't want to see the guy get hurt. Boxing is, it's as a spectator of the sport, there's a lot of, we know that there's a lot of emotions going around. There's a lot of, arguments with people that you have on a daily basis that you don't want to lose. And I'm the same way. I don't want to lose arguments, but I would advise you to not make dumb arguments, and that way you won't have to walk up and lose them. Okay, that's the way that you avoid that, right? People getting all excited because somebody said, or there was a rumor that somebody might want to buy the PBC, and then you run down the street with that, right? And then you're gonna run down that street with that rumor. It's be 2 years from now. You still watching, you still talking, hear boxers saying, before I go to sleep, I think God and Al Heyman, right? 2 years from now. But you would have made your argument today because of some rumor that came out. Look, I know we all do this emotion, not just emotion, there's emotion to it. We all go do this back and forth, but I would not wish that a fighter gets seriously hurt, or that a fighter's career, which has had as much potential as Anthony Joshua, just fades away because of a selfish promoter and the self-interest of a fledgling boxing streaming service, or should I say fledgling of an overpriced boxing streaming service, put their interest ahead of his, and he felt because of all that pressure on him that he needed to go out there and do the same thing again. But you know what they say, what insanity is doing the same thing twice and thinking you're going to get a different result. There's things that AJ needs to do differently in this getting ready for this next fight. And honestly, I hope that he does. But hey, man, Viva Mexico, because I don't think he's going to beat Andy Ruiz. But anyway, that's my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.